Radio on Berlin.
Okay, here we are in the big city. Stories from Berlin, and Rinus van Alebeek and myself, Adrian, Shephard, and we're in Kreuzberg.
Yeah,
of course.
And again on the Landwehrkanal, not far from Cottbusser Bridge, standing opposite the synagogue, one of the synagogues in Berlin. And it's not intentional, it's just that it's on our way, which reminds us that today is 10th of November.
What happened on the 10th of November?
It's the day after the 9th of November.
It's not the 7/11 thing.
No. It's the German 9/11.
Oh, it's the German 9. I mean, this place is also guarded 24/7 by the Polizei, the police here as well. They have a little cabin with a little camp bed and a stove and probably tea and coffee probably. But I noticed today on some of these gold things in the streets, there's flowers.
Yeah, but those are yesterday's flowers.
Oh.
Like I said, it's the German 9/11, and it's a triptych of 9/11s, in fact.
And what is it then? What happened? Of course I know. Of course, I just want to inform our listeners.
Well,
but I don't know actually.
What went into history as the Kristallnacht.
Oh yeah, right.
The Crystal Night.
Yeah. Night of the Crystals?
Yeah, no, because it got this name because a lot of windows of Jewish shops were shattered
smashed
by stones, and then you get the sound of breaking glass.
Oh yeah. That's not a David Bowie reference, though, is it? Not intentional.
No. And that was on the 9th of November. But on the 9th of November, it was also the day that, for the first time in history of the wall, people could go from East Berlin to West Berlin. So that was a very fortunate day for German history. But
we're talking about 1930s, aren't we now?
Yeah, but I am also talking about 9 November.
Oh, okay.
And 9 November was also the day when the German Republic was proclaimed after Germany lost the First World War.
Right.
So you've got these three events on one day.
They lost the match.
They lost the match, yeah. And they gained the Republic, which didn't last very long. But it was formally ended with the 9th of November Kristallnacht thing. But in a way, but not. I mean, it was ended with the fire in the Reichstag.
Right, and that was and Hitler organised that, didn't he? To create a.
I don't think that Hitler organised it, because if he didn't know about it, he could be really sincerely outraged instead of playing it.
Yeah, right.
And it's far more convincing. But his direct allies, like Göring and the Gestapo people, they set the whole thing up.
So do you think they did it behind his back then?
Yeah.
So that he would sound more genuine,
I think
when
so.
he was in front of the BBC.
Yeah.
No. I'm saying. Yeah. That's interesting. That's an interesting subplot to the
But
plot.
anyway, something was bound to happen, because when in 1933 January Hitler was appointed Reichschancellor, so not because he won the votes and there were no elections, it was just a change of government.
Right.
And when that happened, Göring became head of police, and one of the first acts was to establish Gestapo. And one of the first duties of the Gestapo was to compile a list of people who could be arrested in the event of.
Right.
And that's what happened.
Yeah. But did Hitler already have his list up, though? Or no, the Gestapo?
The list was up 6 hours before the fire.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
God, they really...
so we got the list, go ahead.
Pretty fast.
And it's the 9th of November, so we can't wait until tomorrow.
We were going to move on, weren't we?
Yeah.
So we're outside the... if you've just joined us.
Yeah.
We're outside... I was going to say the Gestapo headquarters, but of course not, no. We are outside here in Kreuzberg. It's autumn. We were about to... our wires were about to be crossed because we're actually using real cables between us,
Yeah.
me and Rinus. And we're walking along in the autumn leaves, and all the leaves are brown. And Rinus goes, all
That's another
leaves
song,
are
huh?
brown.
Yeah.
And when you were talking about the Kristallnacht, the Carpenters came into my head as well. actually.
They made a song about Kristallnacht?
I don't know, it was kind of way before their time.
Yeah, but still.
But I don't know why I was thinking of that. Wooden, was the place made out of wood? I don't know.
It is?
Would
You think so?
the Carpenters have been needed to rebuild the Reichstag? I don't know, that was the connection.
Yeah, but there's always a lot of wood inside, and inside the Reichstag, when it took fire, of course there was a lot of wood because that could burn.
Yeah.
And that was the style in the early 20th century. A lot of wood inside.
Yeah. Nice. Wooden floors. Oh,
Yeah.
By the way, you can hear our feet on the dry autumn leaves here in
Golden leaves.
November 2022.
Yeah.
November already, and it's what, 14 or 15 degrees.
Yeah.
Sunny, and it feels beautiful out here in climate change on this planet. But in any case,
Yeah, we are going to. Did you bring the glue?
the glue to glue the planet back together again.
No, we
Glue the
were
leaves?
going to glue ourselves on this bridge. or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Yesterday.
our demonstration against
Yesterday, people glued themselves to
a toothbrush on the floor. Just
to
noticed.
the quadriga, the statue on top of the Brandenburger Tor.
What? Not the gold statue?
No, it's bronze.
How did they do that?
Oh.
Sorry, we're being a bit noisy for people that are actually sleeping outside.
Oh, they were sleeping. Okay,
They're
I'm
telling
sorry.
us to be quiet. There's a tent erected by the side of the canal here, and probably
Great place.
we should be a bit quiet. I don't know. So we're now walking past the amazing Admiral Brücke, and Ruta Käppchen just cycled past us. Red Riding Hood
Yeah.
on her bicycle, no doubt, to pick her children up.
Maybe it's a remake of what's that movie with Donald Sutherland in Venice?
Oh, not The Eagle Has Landed.
No.
Oh,
There was also a little girl with a Red Riding Hood thing running around.
Oh, there's always a girl with a red
Yeah.
riding hood, isn't there, in these places? Okay, we're on cobbled stones now, so you won't hear the
Yep.
leaves anymore much, unless we kick them, which my child tends to do. So, talking about but Kristallnacht, that's when they smashed the windows, okay?
Yeah.
It wasn't the book.
And burned the synagogues.
They didn't burn the books, though. That was
That's
another
what they
day,
did
isn't it?
5 years earlier in May 1933.
Right.
And in fact, somewhere in the street where you lived, that was the place where they originally stored the books before they burned them.
That's fascinating.
Because they emptied a lot of libraries.
I want to phone a friend.
And then they came across this library of a Jewish guy, so this was full of Jewish books. Hey, we hit the jackpot.
Crazy.
And then suddenly they had a lot
Crazy.
of books.
So that was the books were stored in Kreuzberg then?
Yeah, and then they went looking for a nice square
Yeah.
where they could burn them.
Yeah. Well, that was quite a way away. Well, not that far away, but like 30 minutes
Yeah,
by horse and cart.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Mm.
Exactly, because people always think Berlin is very big, but Kreuzberg, it's like a very small step for mankind to reach Potsdamer Platz.
Right.
Not that we're heading there, but if you follow Oranienstraße and then go to the right, you are in the city center, and it might be 20-25 minutes walk.
And that's what the Nazis were doing, wasn't it? They were heading to the right. Oh, they were very right, weren't they?
Yeah, they didn't have to head to the right. They had to go to the extreme right and jump over it.
Yes. Turn right
Yeah.
at the next stop. So, do you know anything about the gold squares that you find here in Berlin?
Oh, that's the so-called Stolpersteine. And sometimes in our logic, like walking around, seeing streets, sidewalks and houses, they make sense because they're in front of a house.
Oh, sorry, I've just found a free box. where people just leave
Yeah.
clothes and things like that. So now I'm going to actually try some jeans on in the middle of the street.
Oh yeah,
then-
but this is a really very custom friendly thing. Or is this a bra? Or
It's a
something?
bra,
I
yeah,
thought
it's
it was
not-
a tote bag.
It's not going to fit me yet, but
okay.
not in,
So
not,
here's
not
another
in this
one.
life. And there's
Black jeans, but it's all women's thing.
And what colour is that? Do you say
That's
this jacket
spitting green.
It's completely. That's gonna. You'll be able to see
fluorescent-
that jacket at
fluorescent
night.
green.
Here
Yeah.
you can hear the wind as well. Oh, maybe some socks. I don't know. Would you wear someone else's socks? Do you
No.
think? Would you wear someone else's bra? I don't know. 1968. Anyway, these jeans. Maybe that's the connection. What happened in 1968, Rinus? First thing that comes to mind. When I was born in '67, these jeans definitely not going to
Yeah,
fit me.
that was of course a revolutionary year, no?
Oh yeah. In France, all
France,
over the place.
Germany, everywhere.
Yeah. Oh look, and there's a Stranger Things T-shirt that it gets even stranger. Look, Strange Things. Oh no, so Strange Things happens every day. Oh, that's probably why I had to throw it away because it wasn't. Strange Things happens every day. I guess that would make sense if you said happens every day.
Yeah.
But strange things happen every day. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, there's also a DVD. If anyone uses DVDs anymore,
9.5 weeks.
9.5 weeks in German. Mickey Rourke and Kim Basinger. Yeah, and that was Plenty Sex. Well, I never even saw it. Was it something like Grey? The Grey something?
It
Grey?
was pretty boring.
Was it? Oh,
Yeah.
was it hot at all? Talking about
No,
the weather?
not very much. They used ice cubes.
Okay. There you go. Techniques there, strategies.
Yeah.
So we're leaving the free box behind.
So you were asking about these stolpersteine. I think what will be the messing or brass or copper or what kind of metal they use.
These are the things that you find all over Berlin, and they have where Jewish people were murdered in the street outside their houses.
No, the other way around. Jewish people lived there, and they were dragged out of their houses and then gathered and deported. You can read the name, place of birth, year of birth, and the day, year when they were born, but also the place where they were killed.
Yep.
And there's also a very nice.
Oh, it's windy. It's
Okay.
getting windy. We could go inland a bit, maybe.
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah, we
docks.
are here at Urbanhafen. it's very open.
Yeah.
Walking past a flat where I wouldn't mind living.
Oh, what, in the middle of the canal? Or you mean
No,
the Krankenhaus here, the hospital?
The opposite, the other side. The other side.
Yes, of course, yes.
The multicolored social housing or whatever it is.
We broadcast from there before as well, didn't
Yeah.
we? I remember years ago, just before the pandemic. Anyway, back to the...
So I think those stones were an initiative from someone in Cologne, just to visualize what happened with the Jewish people.
Yeah, do you know when they were placed into the streets of Berlin? Roughly?
I think they must have appeared 8 or 9 years ago. This is the year 2022, so maybe 2013, something like that, or earlier. That's not an exact date, but it's certainly something of this century and last decade. There's an extra fact to it, because in Germany the layout, or in Berlin the layout now is that you've got parks and buildings and other features of a city where once were houses. So you can walk at a little square or somewhere, and then you've got these cobblestones or these stones there to indicate that once there was a house where people were deported.
Yes.
And that is always a nice surprise, so a positive thing to a negative, very negative feature in history.
Not to forget, somehow. Well, half the show we've been talking about the history, And maybe the next part of the show I can ask Rinus how he would deal with maggots on his ceiling if they started to appear in the Radio 1 studio.
Maggots are like
these little
things that where flies creep out?
Yeah, little baby flies.
Yeah. Why?
Oh.
How do they appear on the ceiling?
We're surrounded by crows now.
Huh?
Or ravens, I don't know. That's
I had a nice raven moment with a
probably
very
connected.
small group of
Maggots?
of Berlin visitors, and that was opposite the new palace, the replica of the palace.
Oh yeah, made out of cardboard.
And there were hundreds
No way, what were they doing there?
just walking around.
Walking, not even
Yeah,
flying.
you know, with their hands on their backs, hum, 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 how was your day? Not rotten, shut up.
That's very Hitchcock
Yeah.
of them. Maybe it is a recreation of the birds or something. The birds. That was set in Cornwall, wasn't it?
Yeah, what to do with maggots? There must be something that...
Well, funnily enough, I've been thinking that
If you put peanut butter on it, what would happen?
What? Spread.
Suffocate them with peanut butter, or would they eat themselves through the peanut butter?
I mean, they're on the.
But because you're cultivating peanuts in your,
they don't get near the peanuts.
No.
I don't think any. I'm not sure
you
insects
didn't
or
harvest them yet.
anything like that are
No.
attracted to salt. I think they would never. I don't think they would ever go near it. I think it's more like bread and
Okay.
all sorts of stuff. I don't know, but I was thinking of making little tiny flamethrowers, you know, somehow, because I was watching.
That's called a lighter.
I was watching the movie, the third recreation of based on the book of All Quiet on the Western Front, which in Deutsch was a. What's the name in Deutsch?
Is it any good?
The third film?
No, the newest one. I want to see it with my mum. I mean,
it's very depressing. Of
making
course.
a stash of these movies that I want to
Yeah,
see.
sure. The first one was made really early on. I can't be right saying it was 1930s.
Well, you can.
It could be the book was written in the 30s. Oh yeah, because it was after the First World War. So
Yeah.
it was during. Maybe,
And that was one of the books.
Yeah,
If we have
course.
to stay in theme of this show, that was one of the books that was burnt.
We're skipping and bouncing. Really, that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Can you remember the name of the book by chance in German?
Erich Maria Remarque. That's the writer.
No, it's gone. I'm gonna have to.
Nichts Neues im Westen.
We're really going around this subject of this film and book, aren't we? I don't know. But yeah, it's. Of course, he dies in the end. Sorry to ruin it, everybody. But that's what happens in the book and the film, and
But also in the remake, I mean, with all the special effects, could live.
Yeah, no one lives really, except the High Command, the German High Command, and stuff like that. You know, who are a bit down because they
could interconnect, you know, layering movies and series, because you've got series where people can come from the future and.
True.
And say, well, you're going to die, you have to go that way.
They should make a mashup of it, shouldn't they? Or Tarantino should do a massive bloodbath sort of movie. Or
no, Tarantino.
I don't know. Where are we now, Rinus?
That's what I was curious about. I have a little suspicion that I know where we are, but
we know what direction we're going in.
Yeah, we are heading to the west. Where there's nothing new and everything is quiet.
Yeah, talking about that. Yeah, and talking about prime ministers that weren't on the throne for very long. Oh no, I don't know how.
No, this is only in England.
Twisting this round, yeah. Because I went to the UK recently, and the first time I went a few weeks ago, the Queen died, and then the King Charles was put on the throne, and then the next time when I went. Unexpectedly, that was not planned. I didn't plan that, the Queen's death. The next time, Liz Truss, who came quickly after Boris Johnson and practically tanked the country, resigned after 45 days in office. Imagine having a job and 45 days later, it's over. Of course, that's nothing new. But
It's
you
like
still
World
get
Championship.
paid.
It's a,
Yeah,
no?
sure. Yeah. So she's retired. Yeah, so after 45 days in office as Prime Minister of the UK, she retires, and then Rishi Sunak, the very first, what can I say, the first Hindu to be Prime Minister ever in the UK, probably the first non-Christian ever in the UK, was elected. Well, not even elected. He wasn't elected at all.
Appointed.
No one else stood in his way as far as the Conservatives, the right wing. Talking about right wing governments, far be it for me to compare the British government with the Nazis. But in any case, yeah, no votes. And Boris Johnson was going to he came back from holiday in Jamaica, and this is the news, folks, by the way, the recent news. Then the horror was that maybe, like Churchill, he would try and get his throne back, but then at the last,
right here written in my biography,
because that's what Churchill did, wasn't it? And Boris Johnson wrote, the histories of, or some of the books about Churchill.
So learning from the past, you know your future.
Sure. But of course, Churchill went nuts in the end and he had to. Well, they got rid of him, didn't in the end, the Conservatives.
Let's see, where are we?
The second coming of Boris and Churchillian. We have hit a crossing here.
Yeah, I'm just very curious where this all leads.
Yeah. Where does this story lead? I don't know.
Also.
Where does this show lead? I don't know. Whatever you're doing at home, if you're following this and following us along the way.
We are still following the Landwehr Canal and passing streets with unknown names. What do I see at the other side? Something I can't read.
How good are Rinus's eyes? Mine are suffering, I must say. They're getting worse as I walk further.
Oh, wait a minute. Are we there? Is this... Oh God, are we so far already?
So far, so lost, so
look,
gone,
what a
so
nice
near,
building.
so far. Yeah, but you have to describe it because this is radio.
It's oh yeah. It looks like the end of the 19th century, big, self-conscious of its pride and power, and things it can do with other people.
That's not no, it's definitely not the Landsamt. So it's
but
not the tax office.
It could be. And at the same time, it's a watered-down version of a big Baroque palace or castle or whatever you want, because it's like the roof tiles all red.
Yep.
It's very modern. There's no extreme ornaments on the facade, and mind you, this is like, how much is this? This is 200 meters, 300 meters?
Yeah.
With a central piece which is a little bit higher, and then you've got this fortress blocks on the first ground floor and the first floor.
But it definitely looks like some kind of state office building, bureau. They organise things, and then you walk through loads of offices or corridors to. It could be a school actually, because my daughter's school, which is kind of an former East German school, is like this, designed to confuse everybody. But in front of it is this industrial-looking
this thing,
thing with pipes and a big wheel on it. It looks like it should generate electricity from water or something like that,
or just pump water around.
Would have done, yeah. Maybe we'll send a picture of this.
This is
incredible.
like pop art.
Yep.
It could eventually be a statue, a sculpture.
But this should be the background to our to the show.
Yeah, I
picture,
think
shouldn't it?
Yeah,
so,
I think so.
Because we're kind of reaching about 30 minutes, and that's probably the
but
right.
But we're not even at the.
I know. We'd probably have to do another one after this one.
Shit,
so this would be like a part one. World War One, and then next one
World War Two.
Of course, that kind of connects with what else was I going to say? Oh yeah, today was the first day I actually saw Father Christmas being erected on the Kurfürstendamm, and Christmas trees around the KaDeWe and all that.
It starts earlier.
Wittenbergplatz.
They also Christmas to stay
Kristallnacht.
to round off in
Yeah.
theme, where they burned the books eventually.
Yep.
They are building up a Christmas market right now because they can't do it on the Gendarmenmarkt.
Ah, right, yeah. Because what happened on the Gendarmenmarkt?
I don't know, but maybe they're gonna restructure it,
Okay.
put trees, because as it was now, it was all designed by Speer. Maybe you don't want to have that.
Oh yeah, true. But yeah, today is the 10th of November. We were talking about the 9th of November, and the trains are going past, of course, to Kreuzberg. The trains. I wanted to complain, to end this show with complaining about the trains, because the B4G who run the trains around here.
Well, it's full of useless historic facts.
It's just
you want another one?
Another train.
No, another historic fact.
Go on, yeah, go for it.
I just found out yesterday there was a wall around Berlin.
I've heard of it, yeah.
But not the wall.
Oh,
another wall, like in the 18th century to keep in the soldiers.
Okay.
And in fact, it was here.
And
this U-Bahn follows the line of the wall from Schlesische Tor, Cottbusser Tor to Hallische Tor. Right. All where the wall was.
Oh.
Sweet, no?
Fascinating,
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure the B4G will probably build it up again, because they're really into...
You only have to put like stone and concrete blocks just under it and you're ready.
Yeah, because the train line travels above the roads.
Stop the
here,
train line.
Just goes straight. If it's working,
barbed wire on top of it.
Exactly, barbed wire. That's a First World War invention, I think. And
then make all the rich people live inside and us poor people outside.
They can live on the trains.
We can make tunnels.
Yeah.
Or maybe they can.
Just go round and round.
Because somehow we want to shop, no?
Sure. But that's if B4G managed to keep it all going, because like all the time they're forever stopping the trains and making bus routes and everything else. This morning on the way to school, the trams in the former east on the Warschaustrasse have been stopped, and then and on the way
then the police came in and they body searched you?
No, they just stopped. And it's till Christmas, so for a month they've stopped it.
They stopped for Christmas?
Yeah, perhaps.
Okay.
Yeah, until early December, and then they'll say, we may as well do it till the new year, till 2023.
So
or something
they're
like
really expecting a harsh winter, reindeer sleighs and things, old trams anymore.
If there is Father Christmas who can get through this weather, because there'll be no snow or anything, will there? It's just going to be sunshine all the way, isn't it? Which might be fortunate because of the Russian war at the moment, Ukraine and all that, because everyone's worried about their bills going up, the food prices are going up. People will be we will use leaves as currency, as they probably used
to burn
before the First World War and stuff like that with Germany and stuff. So it's all kind of connected through Berlin, because these are Berlin stories. That's what Rinus and myself are talking about.
True.
Yeah, so if you want to find some kind of meaning from all this stuff, they're Berlin stories. Yeah, there you go. So thank you for listening to the this one, part one of our journey.
We really walked half an hour now?
Probably.
Of which we now spent 2 minutes?
We hung around the Jewish Synagogue for a while, talking about the history there, and then we ambled on at an alarming rate.
Good.
So, thank you for listening. And if you want to find out about Radio 1, you probably know anyway, because everyone knows about it. Everyone's talking about it. The website www.radio-on-berlin.com, and Rinus van Alebeek and myself, Adrian Shephard, have a very good afternoon wherever you are, whatever season you are listening to this show in.
Okay.
Berlin Stories.
You have been listening to Radio 1 Berlin.